Greetings, bantwana benkosi, siyalibulisa egameni likaYesu. Lo thetha ngusiseko Vuso, your host of UKWAZI. Before I do, we have a sort of a new show. This is the second episode. The topic, it Brothers Talk. We deal with the brothers stuff. Sidila nezinto amadoda angasadile nazo before angene emtshadweni, things like anger, things like bitterness, things like doubt into ezinjalo. Enye into, we noticed that we are expected to live ubomi bomtshato totally different to our fathers abasikhuliswe ngabo. Now it's hard for us to bridge the gap. That's why SICELLA show is to close that gap. Sibe ngabantu ba-right emitshatweni. Kunamhlanje ke siphinde sasikelelwa, very much privileged. Utata wethu ukhona to assist us singamadoda. We encourage the females zimamele so that zizazi ingxaki esijongene nazo.
Thank you very much, Musa. And be greeted in Jesus' mighty name. I hope you are doing well wherever you are watching this scene in Jesus' name. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dada. For giving us this opportunity to understand now.
Thank you very much.
We are very much privileged. Very much privileged.
Amen.
Please, if you are watching, share the video, share it to all of your friends, mention people, be free to comment, be free to react, enjoy yourselves.
Thank you very much.
What is a man? Indoni indota.
All right, so and I have to try to narrow it because it's a very broad question.
Okay.
You see, and I always believe that I should answer from this stand. So I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm doing it now because I can't answer outside the box. Though I have a lot of things, but there's a different description or a definition about what is a man. But for me to try to cut it and make it very simple. A man is a male species that God has created with responsibilities and also capacitated it to fulfill those responsibilities. That is my answer.
Okay, is a male species.
It's a male species
with a responsibility.
With divine responsibilities,
okay,
and also capacitated by God to fulfill those responsibilities. Yes.
Just like that, the Moses so and another October, Kanoko, we did, but now the story window. But in daughter, go by ears twin, in daughter, you call. In daughter, go by. Then Abantuan. You mean?
As I said, it's a very broad subject. In different definitions.
Okay.
Therefore, I wouldn't want to go outside the secular world, how other people think. I'm just narrowing it to the Bible. That a man is a male species, given responsibilities by God and capacitated to fulfill those responsibilities. Because if you can just try to make it simple, go try to maybe entertain the root also now.
Okay.
You know, the end of the income. Nabafazi and also boys can have children.
Okay.
You see everything. Well, if you're gonna just narrow it and say it's just if you say gonna be a man, then it should be a twin, and then it's not true.
Okay.
It's not true for me. I fully believe that a man is a male species that is created by God with responsibilities and also capacitated to fulfill those responsibilities. That's it for me.
Thank you very much, Dad. Thank you very much. It's a male species with a responsibility, also capacitated to fulfill that responsibility.
Yes.
All right. Now, in that case, I think sizongena kahle ku-second question yethu ezokwenza siphendule uba what are those responsibilities. Ithi ke yona question in a general way, yintoni purpose yokuba kube khona i-mail space?
Okay. The purpose for putting back on email space, ukuba lo mail space is here to glorify God.
Okay.
From the biblical point of view, is here to glorify God. And glorifying God is not necessarily standing and shouting that I glorify you, O Lord, but to fulfill exactly that which God has commanded a mail space to fulfill.
Okay.
Which is, I said, there are responsibilities. One responsibility that he must fulfill to glorify God is to produce.
Okay.
Out of his seed,
Okay.
there must be a continuity MP.
Okay.
And that is a responsibility that is given, that he must produce seed. Two, he must be able to nurture the seed
Okay.
that he has to produce. Three, he must also protect that seed. That equal seven Magai produce he must also protect it. And also he has to fulfill all other requirements that a man should fulfill. Out of his set up a family, from the seed to his set up a family. Okay, in order it is one responsibility. To production, a spin natural, a start protection, and then a sin following all the other instructions that God will give you. Thank you.
I'm capturing. So it's production, nurturing, protection,
and following
other responsibilities.
Yes, it's directed. To make it even more simpler, where will he plant the seed? Obviously, he has to look for the garden to plant the seed. Because you cannot just another thing, he must also look for that. It's his responsibility to do that.
Okay.
Look for the garden.
Okay.
You see? Then naturally, after they produce, obviously that's the child. He must be able to take care of that which he has produced. You see? Number three is to protect your kingdom as any as well. Meaning which the garden, the children, and other things that God is going to give you iteration to protect.
All right. In that case, that I just to broaden up, because uspenula metaphoric. Now, then uba umuntu osimamelanga conclude ngendlela. Sabuba ke nangu uPaul. Paul, I think even I production, but I lay civil sacinga kuyo. Can you extend your explanation to that level? When you speak of production, ingaba uthetha ngoba umuntu abe nabantwana biological, or umzekelo uPaul wasithetha ngamzekelo uYesu. So can you extend the explanation of production? What do you mean?
Okay. As in order it derived from God, therefore in order it is derived from God, and I'm going to go back to produce a seed. Then it's going to get us back now that as I said, law general now we is a spirit, he lives in the body. He has a soul and he also lives in the body. Meaning which, now if you talk about production, also he must be able to produce from this frame. Your spirit, your and also your seed. But you still have to produce a seed. You see? You have to produce your kingdom around the spirit, the soul, and the body. Then, as long as it was on a seed form in a man, he must produce. But for Paul, he did not have a wife. He did not have a wife, to make it simple that way. He did not have a wife, but he had other responsibilities as the seed is concerned. Then, if you look at it closely, he produced the seed of the spirit even more. We talk about him today because he produced a lot, because he had to fulfill the assignment that was given by God in all these three areas. If I produce about flesh, but more, he produced. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. What could be the cause of men's failure? Because as you just explained, production, protection, nurturing, and other responsibilities. But you might see errors ezininzi umzekelo amadoda ahlele etlongo amaninzi amadoda ahlele etywaleni some can produce but cannot nurture and protect and fail all the issues of glorifying God. So what could be the reasons for such?
First, if a man does not know why did he come here,
Okay.
if a man does not know irresponsibility, he hurts.
Okay.
That's where the problem will start. Other things will just fall into place, but if the man does not know who to yeah, if you do not know who you are and you don't know your responsibilities, it's easy for you to abuse. If you don't know your identity, you don't know your responsibilities, what else will you do here? Unfortunately, a man without a purpose, or a man without knowing his identity and a purpose, is bound to become whatever thing that he can be. Hence, you see them in jail because they have lost their identity. They are in jail, they are in liquor, drinking liquor, they don't know even their responsibilities. Because they have the seed, you can just produce, you see, but you don't even know what you are doing while you are doing this. Therefore, just in the they do not know who they are, and they don't even know their responsibilities on earth. In places where you're not supposed to be. A man without identity, a man without purpose is lost. That is it. The main thing, more than any other thing, is the loss of identity and the loss of responsibility.
So the real reasons, the loss of identity and loss of responsibility.
That's the real reason. Because one.
If you talk of loss of identity to a man, what's the other chapter then Apila? Because if I lose my identity, where I am, who I am, what is going on? I
think we are living in a very confused world. If you do not know who you are, you will try to attach yourself to things that you will think they can give you identity. That's what happens. People who are lost, they can just go try to attach to any other thing. Hence, I'm going to go back to what you said. Because you are just trying to find who you are. That is why you're just going to go and attach yourself to anything that is at least close to what the idea of being a man may be. This is what it means to be a man. This is what it means to be a man. That is what it means to be a man. You're just going to go attached to anything. It's just you are confident, you don't know who you are.
Okay. Wow. Thank you very much, Dad. Thank you very much. Is it still the purpose of God when you make production? Let's say I'm making production outside marriage and to different women.
Okay.
Am I still in the purpose?
The answer is simple. There is what we call the perfect will of God and the permissive will of God.
Okay.
Two, there's what we call system. Ukulunkulu usebenza the perfect will and also allow permissive will and also has a system. To answer briefly, if you produce according to the will of God, you produce according to His statutes and His standards. If you produce not according to the will of God, we are producing on the permissive will of God. It's what you want to do, even if God does not allow it. But because you want it, God gives you the chance to do it because of the system. What you do by a system, you reproduction and production.
Okay.
You must meet a female counterpart. But now, for the perfect will of God, you meet a female counterpart if you are a man within the bounds of marriage. But the permissive will of God, you can meet a woman outside the parameters of the marriage. But the system of meeting a woman, it will continue to work. Hence, you have children that are born out of wedlock. The system, your production, what about it depends when the system purpose article, no permissive will. Permissive right, meaning which you can abuse the system that God has placed by permissive will. We are a forced talent, but you can also fulfill God's will system by the perfect will ethic, meet a female counterpart within the parameters of marriage, you will produce a child. But if you want to force it, you will meet either way the permissive will of God, and there will be reproduction because the system in that's how God operates. Baby system, reproduction, baby system, you don't do. It's up to you. It's up to you how you enter into it. It's either you go to it right or you abuse it.
All right, then tata okuthethe nathi kwilento yoba how dangerous it is to have sex outside marriage, because we say we have stereotypes izinto abazikhumshayo zihambe emzimbeni zawuze entloko and whatnot. Can you please give us a word of wisdom based on that?
Brothers and sisters, it's a simple advice and straightforward advice. If you abuse anything that is given to you because you say I'm able to do it, it's not a matter of that I'm capable of doing it. It's the matter of, are you within the parameters? Are you allowed to do it? Anybody that goes beyond the parameters is bound to feel pains. Is bound to hurt himself. The very fact that God has capacitated you does not give you the authority to abuse that which has been given to you. If I'm not going it is powerful, but it must not just be used haphazardly. Same as men. Because you feel that you are capacitated to impregnate, you are capacitated to sleep with anybody, everything is functioning well. You are an irresponsible person. And all irresponsible people, they suffer harm. There are consequences and things that are going to hurt you very bad if you are not disciplined. The fact that God has blessed you with testosterone, with power, with a good body, does not mean you are allowed now to go and spread, because normally can warm. Only if it is taken out of a fireplace, it can burn the house. It needs responsible people to deal with only. Can be a blessing to me. If I put it on the fireplace, it can warm the whole house. But if I allow the fire to get out of the fireplace because I say I have fire, you might burn the house and also burn yourself within the house. Therefore, all I'm trying to say, sex before marriage is irresponsibility. Enjoy the capacity, enjoy the power, but please do not forget the parameters. If you go beyond those parameters, you are definitely going to burn. And also, not burn yourself alone, burn everybody that is around you, including the person that you're sleeping with. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dada. Thank you very, very much for that. Now, Dada, taking us out of the protection and nurturing. Here's the problem. How should we deal with being ill-raised? I have a father and I want to be a father, but the issue is my dream to be a father is totally different to what I have been raised by my father. indlela yakhe adefine ngayo ukuba ngumuntu ongutata, modeling yakhe is totally different to what also is expected from me by the society and by the woman that I will marry. Or how do we deal with that gap?
Well, here we need a balance. So, how do you deal with being ill-raised by your father? First of all, the very fact that you can see that you've been ill-raised, it gives a serious promise that you're going to be better. It would be a different case if I would be dealing with a person that doesn't even know that is ill-raised. Obviously, if you can see that you are ill-raised, there is a pattern that you think is right that you have seen. That now shows the incompetence or the bad that your father has done in raising you. Immediately, your eyes are open and you can see a better place than what you are in. A better interpretation of being a man than what you are in. Hence, you even see the wrong. You see. Go to the society. Even the society cannot be right always. Obviously, there's also a pattern to define that and to see that the society here is wrong when it describes a man. 3, the woman that you are with, she has the expectations, as you are saying. She expects you to behave a certain way. Definitely, she has a way of interpreting things. That also needs to be put under a scale. Hence, as a born-again Christian, or a Christian, or a Christian man, we have to go back again from the manual. Go back again to the manual and check what is it in a biblical way. What is it that a man is supposed to do? And what does the Bible define? How does the Bible define a good man or a godly man? Then you can start your journey from there. So that when you see other people that you perceive as good a man, they must not be contrary to what the Bible is saying. That is the safest place ever. Then if you can just base your manhood from there, then it's easy for you now to learn from others. Because if you could just understand it, then I think that if this behave like this is being a good man. You're going to be confused even more. Just go back to the basics, get to the Bible. What does the Bible say about manhood? And then from there, you can follow working examples now, so that you can protect yourself from being confused even more. Even your wife now can be collected. If she's right, she must be approved by the Bible. If she's wrong, definitely you can correct the Bible. You can correct it with the Bible. And then follow living epistles of manhood. Thank you.
Now here's the following question. Zange umzekelo ndive utata esithi kumama uyakuthanda. Now ndakholwa mhlawumbi ndimlimi okanye uthando ndingalidefine ngola hlobo lululwe. So now nangu sisi ukhule kwifemeli utata etshoyo kumama kuba uyamthanda xa ehamba etawuni emxhuma. Zonke ezi zinto sizibone eTV thina singakhonanga kuzo. Then is it a serious case when I'm choosing a wife to consider such one? I feel like I'm very much below the expectations of sis when it comes to model a husband style. Or is there any wisdom as
Very interesting. All right. That's why I believe in courtship.
Okay.
I seriously believe in courtship because you must be able to learn each other's cultures. You must be able to talk about each other's expectations. Hence we say, during courtship, talk about everything. Talk about everything and give yourself time to start the person, though you can't get 100%, but basic things. You need to find out how cultured the person is and also compare with your culture, because these are just cultures. It's like maybe this one is too wide, maybe it's a TV type of a person. When I was saying you in the Bible to I love but if you take your time to sit down and start the person, sit down and adjust, because courtship will help you now to reach what we call compromise. We must meet each other halfway. Your wife will not demand it, because from her family they always, she has seen everything that they say I love you, when from your own you have not. She must also understand what type of a person you are. Therefore, both of you during courtship you have all the time to learn about each other's cultures and to talk about each other's expectations. Then if you deal with them like that, then you are safe. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think that absolutely, but it's just that it's actually against us. Because if there's an attraction, there's a touch and there's a dose of back. Utilanjane enga uyindoda ukhule umama kwebetha. So now ikhona la bithane school, ikhona la nzonto just for a flinch. How can you assist indoda ekhule kanjani?
I will speak from Basangadabamyana, but either way, this is across the spectrum, so it's a culture and whatever. But I've discovered that our white brothers, or maybe other cultures, rather than our black culture, they are already far than us in dealing with matters that are psychological. Because this is psychological and mental now. You were raised in an environment that abused the way Mama Patala called. Now, obviously, if you grow up with that type of being, it's psychologically proved that you will repeat the same cycle, because this is what you were being groomed into when you grew up. Therefore, I say white brothers are a bit far, because they know what we call counseling. They go and deal with psychological issues because they have places where they go to ask for help, to deal with anger issues, to deal with alcoholism and drugs, to deal with perversion, sexual abuse, etc. But they also know the avenues where they must go to detox, to take that thing out, because it's not like something we are born with, it's you are groomed by the environment. Therefore, there are remedial places, or there are remedial means to deal with such things. Therefore, in our black community now, we don't even think that we should consult a psychologist, consult a counselor, because we just say this is just a waste of money, maybe you are too white. But those places are places of our health. They heal us psychologically. Therefore, what I would suggest is for you to deal with this as a Christian or as a man. Find out where are the places where I can get the help. We have spiritual counselors, which are pastors and ministers of the gospel. We have secular counselors. You can even take time to go those places. We have AAs, places where they deal with alcohol here, they deal with perverts here, they deal with people with anger issues here, they deal with abuse here, and all those things. We must teach ourselves that it's not weakness, it's not manhood to swallow everything like, no, I will deal with it, I have my own measures of dealing with it. No, if you are able to deal with it, why is it end like this? If you are sick, find a doctor, pay some money, go out and say, I see I have a sickness, and there's a specialist somewhere that deals with this. Even doctors are different, they have specialties. They don't deal with everything, especially except it is a GP, general practitioner. But stand up to seek help, You know that you have anger issues, and you have nothing to do with it. You grew up in the environment where the mother was abused by your father, and then thing is developed even in you. Just go out, seek for help. That's what I can give.
Thank you very much, Dada. there's too much to deal with. I think we'll have to do another session.
I'll be glad.
Can you, Tata, share please with us any wisdom based on men's side, men before marriage? As a closing remarks.
My closing remarks will be also, I think before you can bring somebody in your life, try to find out who you really are. Do not get consumed by what you see from other men. Try to get inside, deal with yourself. I always say, women, when we are going to be taught to how to find out who we are. But we rush now, actually we pray for good women. Are we good men? Maybe the prayer should be, make me a good man. But we pray for God to give you a good woman. You don't pay attention to yourself too. Let her check and find out what you guys and then if you so no problem, how can I assist you before